Good morning, children. Hope you all are fine. I'm Preeti Thakkar from Srimati LP Savani Vidya Bhavan, back to you with SS Standard 6, Chapter 3, Citizenship. It was Sunday. Rajul and his family members were helping each other clean the house. You must also be helping your family members when there is work to be done, isn't it? After having a tea, grandfather called Rajul and said, a family is a social institution which the child comes into contact with first. The child learns about society for the very first time from the family. Therefore, a family is called the school of culture and a personality development. It is the smallest unit of society. A family also teaches us that we are mutually dependent on each other. Each and every member of the family ought to help each other. Society is based on the principle of cooperation and it begins with the family. So, here, children, must all be knowing that our first unit of society is our family, from whom we learn. And do we all help our family? Yes, of course. We learn our culture from our family. And our culture is developed from our family, and our personality is developed learning from our family. Now, next, there is always a mutual impact made by the ideas and attitudes of family members. We learn etiquette and manners from the family. The ideology of a family helps in making decisions which may or may not be acceptable. The family and school are institutions which shape us into becoming better citizens and living a better life. When a child is born into a family, he is nourished by his parents. After some time, he establishes a relationship with the neighbors, then he goes to school. As he grows, constantly imitates his elders till he becomes an adult. Meanwhile, he comes into contact with many social institutions which help to mold and develop his personality. Now, here we learned that a child learns etiquettes and manners from the family, for which the family helps them in taking decision. Our family and school are the institution which help us becoming better citizens and live a better life. When a child is born in a family, it is taken care by the parents. Then the child starts making friends on their own and the child grows and imitates his elders till he become adult, and then he molds and develop his personality himself as he comes to the contact with many social institutions. Now, next, if a child is given the opportunity to think and take decisions freely, he will become a good citizen. Later on, when he becomes an adult, he will think independently in the social and political spheres of life and work according to the understanding of such situations. So, here it is said that the child must be given opportunity to think and take some decisions on their own so that you all can understand the life in all the ways and situations. Rajul asked his grandfather, Dadaji, should the duties performed by each person be for his family alone? Dadaji said, not at all. You were born into your family and will remain a member of this family. It is the duty of your mother and father to nourish and protect you. Similarly, your first duty is to respect your family. Follow the customs and traditions and observe all the rules and regulations. So, here, as Rajul asked and understood that we are going to remain a member of our family as our parent takes care of us and protect us. Even it is our duty to respect our family and follow the traditions and observe the rules and regulations. Do you all respect your family? Yes, of course, you do it. Okay? So now moving on towards next paragraph. Along with being a member of the family, you are also a student of your school, towards which you have duty to perform. Maintaining good relations with your co-students and having a healthy attitude towards school are some of them. Apart from this, a person who is born in India has duties to perform towards his village, taluka, district, nation, and the world as a citizen. So, here you learn that as we are a member of our family, we are also a student who have to perform duties towards our school. Behave well with our friends or co students. Have a healthy attitude towards our school. And as a good citizen of India, we even have to perform our duties towards our nation as well. Next paragraph. After listening to everything, his Dadaji told him, Rajul joined his mother in the cleaning of cupboard, where he found a card on one of his shelf. He said, What is this, Mama? The mother replied, This is voter identity card of your father. He has some information and his photographs on it. You come to know about the residential proof of the owner of the voter identity card too. The voter identity card must be with a person as a document for voting. In India, each and every citizen who has 18 years and above has the right to vote. The voter identity card is an authentic document of being a citizen. So here Rajul found the voter ID card from the cupboard and understood a lot about it from his Dadaji. That is the information on the voter ID with the photograph, which proves the owner's authentic document of being a citizenship of India. Now, next. After seeing the voter identity card, Rajul was curious to know about the meaning of the term citizen and citizenship. He then asked his grandfather for an explanation of the same. His Dadaji told him in detail that the word citizen is frequently used in democracy and added that it is often used in politics, by the law, the constitution, and in the speeches of political leaders. He knew that Rajul would want to know more about the term citizen. A person living in a village, city, or a town is called a citizen, but this meaning is limited. Generally speaking, a person who legally belongs to the country and has right and protection of that country is called a citizen of that country. Now here he was even curious to know about the word citizen and citizenship as we learned. So what is the citizen? Let's repeat again. A person who legally belongs to the country and has a right and protection of that country is known as citizen of that country. Now next, an Indian citizen has a deep love for his country and takes pride in fact that he is an Indian. He cooperates with other citizens and serves the nation, and in return the government gives him rights to enjoy. The Indian government takes care of all the life and property of all non-resident Indians as well. An Indian citizen never causes harm to the country or nation. So here we learn that we must have love for our country, nation, and we must cooperate with our government. So in turn, our governments take care of us and our life and property as well. We should not cause harm to our government or nation. Now, moving on towards citizenship. Every person living in India is not a citizen. Out of these people, most are Indians and some are foreigners. Many people come to India from other countries and stay for some time. That is temporary stay. They do not have the rights to vote, participate as a candidate in election, hold government posts or enjoy other rights. Therefore, they are not called Indian citizens. They are citizens of their own countries. People from Europe, USA, Russia, Japan, etc. come to India to study, to visit, or to work in various industrial sectors. Ambassadors of different countries stay in India but are not Indian citizens. So, children, here we learned more about citizenship, that all the people living in India are not a citizen. Many come from other countries and stay temporarily. So, they do not have right to vote or enjoy other rights. So many people come to India to study, work, or to visit. Now, citizenship means to stay permanently in a country, to enjoy the rights given by the state, and to perform the duties entrusted to a person. A person gets or loses the citizenship according to the rules prescribed in the Constitution of India. According to the Constitution, single citizenship is given by the Union government to all citizens of India. Citizens may belong to Gujarat or Maharashtra, but he is not entitled to get dual citizenship to state and the union. He gets only one citizenship, and that is the citizenship of India. As I said, citizenship means who stays permanently and enjoy the rights and perform their duties as the rules given by the Constitution of India. And it is said that citizens means even they have the right to move from one state to another, as a citizen has a citizenship that is of India. They have only citizenship of the country, so they can move around to the country, to any state of our India. Now, next we are going to learn how to get an Indian citizenship. So, there are 4 ways of getting an Indian citizenship. First, by birth. Second, by law. Third, by registration. And fourth, by being a resident for a definite time period. A person who is born in India gets Indian citizenship automatically. A child who is born in a foreign country but has Indian parents has the right to Indian citizenship. For example, Sri Sheikh and his wife are both Indians and are staying in the US. Nadeem, their son, is born. Sri Sheikh registers the name of Nadeem in the office of the Indian ambassador. Thus, Nadeem gets the citizenship of 2 countries, US and India. However, when Nadeem becomes an adult, he has the citizenship of any one country of his choice. So here, now we came to understand that the child of Indian parents born abroad and registered in the office of Indian ambassador gets the citizenship of two countries. Then, when he grows, he is allowed to select any one country of his choice for his citizenship. Now, being born to Indian parents is very natural way of acquiring Indian citizenship. Even foreigners can acquire Indian citizenship by applying to the government of India after very long stay. However, there are some conditions. First, that is to surrender the citizenship of the foreign country at the time of application. Second, he should be a resident of India for more than 5 years. Third, the intention of applicant must be one of the permanent residents. However, if a foreigner marries an Indian citizen, he or she then becomes an Indian citizen. If an Indian citizen commits the serious crime or betrayal, then he loses the citizenship of India. Rajul said, Dadaji, I have got a lot of information about the citizen and citizenship from you, which I will pass on to my friends. Now, here again, if a foreigner is married to an Indian citizen, then he or she becomes Indian. It's a very important again that if an Indian commits serious crimes or betrayal, that is dishonesty or gaddari we say, then he loses the Indian citizenship. So here we learnt a lot of information of our citizenship, and I hope all my children are going to prove them as a best citizen, isn't it? Yes. So thank you children. Bye. See you then.